Hi, in this video we will be taking a first look at Real Youth Mag. So this is the Real Youth Mag website. It's an online magazine targeted at Pakistani audiences, youth to be exact. So Mehdi, what would you be looking at first up in a website from SEO point of view?
Well, there are a lot of things, but apart from the structured approach that we'll take in the next lecture, if I'm looking at something casually, the first thing that probably I would be looking at is the site's history. Some experts do say that this is a ranking factor as well, the domain age. But apart from the domain's age, there are other factors. Let me cite two examples here that I came across, and one of those was a travel blog that was owned by a travel group, and the domain they chose was actually with another group before them. So those people used that domain for dance classes in the same city. So it was like a site that had a history. The owner himself did not know about the history of the site, and that history had to be sort of refreshed. This is a negative example of having a history with another topic, and it is kind of difficult to build a different topic authority for a site like that. On the other hand, there are sites with a clean slate, and Real Youth Mag is one of them. Let me quickly go to web.archive.org, and we can see that there is only one snapshot that is in May. And apart from that, it's really a clean slate and it's totally a new site. So this is something from where we have to build a topic authority up from zero. But there are cases where we have a certain topic authority in a similar niche, in the similar domain, which actually helps the site because we have existing topics and we have existing backlinks registered in Google against the site. For example, let me show you another example. This is a cricket blog and I have worked on it as well. And you can see that there is a history associated with it within the cricket niche, which is good. So the owner of this blog actually purchased this because it was a site that was already being maintained by another person, and he was also posting blogs on cricket. So this actually helps the owner. In our case, obviously Real Youth Mag is something new, and this means that we'll have to build up the topic authority ourselves.
That's great. So we can say that website is good to go as far as website history is concerned.
Yes, it is. But more work would be required as it is a new website. We will discuss this when creating the content plan. Now let me ask the same question to you. What would you be looking at from a social acquisition point of view in a new website?
Well, from social acquisition point of view, if we talk about Facebook specifically, I'll be looking for the existing audience of the page. That is, what are the demographics of the current audience? Male versus female followers, age group of the most active audience, from which location page is getting the highest engagement rate. Then I'll have a look at the posting style and the frequency. Then I'll check out best timings for the post, and last but not least, I'll have a look on the current paid ads. All these stats can be checked within Facebook Insights.
So Ali, when I asked this question, it was about social platforms or social acquisition as a whole. But your answer was quite specific to Facebook, and that is interesting because I have seen other experts do that. Whenever they're asked about social platforms, their answer is somewhat specific to Facebook as well. So why is that? Why not Twitter? Why not Instagram? Why only Facebook?
Well, I often say this, and this may be interesting to say, but Facebook is like the mother of all social networks. Now, this might not be true across all niches, but at least for this site, it is. Since this is a magazine website, I can already say that it will have more audience from Facebook than any other platform. And when I say mother, it does not mean that other platforms stem out of Facebook. Rather, it's about the audience. You see the audiences of these social networks overlap. So it's not like one half of the audience is on Facebook and the other half is on Twitter. It's actually like an 80 to 90% overlap. And this is just not only true for social only. In fact, it's the same audience that go on Google search as well. So this is where remarketing comes in. The point that needs to be understood is that when I talked about Facebook, it was not just about the platform. Rather, it's more about the audience that is most interested in the kind of content produced by Real Youth Mag.
Okay, well, this is interesting. But for the folks out there, while this was just a casual discussion on how we approach things first up, we'll actually look at a more structured approach in the next video because it is important to understand that we are developing a holistic digital strategy. It's not just about Google or about Facebook or about LinkedIn or Twitter. We will actually have a look at each platform and we'll create a complete digital strategy based on our experiments across all platforms. So if we'll select Facebook, that would be for a certain reason. If we will select Google, that would be for a certain reason. So in the next video, we'll start discussing the building blocks of the holistic strategy and how do we approach it.